closer!
Okay!
Monkey, run! Faster, faster! Shit! It's coming!
Watch out! Get up, Trip! Get up! Come on, get up!
Imagine this. You wake up, you're a bit dizzy, you realize that you got a strange headband on your forehead that you can't remove. And also that you're controlled by a young woman called Trip. That's what happens to Monkey, right? Who's Monkey?
Right. Well, Monkey's he's actually the main character in the game, the one you play, and the story is based on Journey to the West, which is a 400-year-old Chinese novel that's been adapted many times into cartoons, theatre, film, games, and we really loved the characters in it, Monkey and Trippy Taka, and we felt like we could do our own version of it. That was compelling, except rather than base it in China, which is where it was, in the ancient world, we decided for some bizarre reason to base it in a post-apocalyptic America 150 years from now.
Yeah, sure. And the game is, of course, Enslaved, Odyssey to the West. And can you tell me about what kind of game is this? What genre would you describe it?
I mean, I guess the best way to describe it, it's an action-adventure, a very story-driven action-adventure. And so, you know, when we finished our last game, Heavenly Sword, we really wanted to kind of improve on that, like look at everything that worked and everything that didn't work as well as we wanted, and to just craft an experience that was really cinematic and like action-packed with combat, but also that needed the brains as well as your physical dexterity, because I think that games used to be a bit more difficult and tactical and challenging in the old days, actually, like on the Amiga or on the SNES and things like that. And I think somehow games have started to become less challenging, and we wanted to kind of bring that challenge back in.
Okay. And you've also enlisted the help of Mr. Gollum himself and some other famous people. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so I mean, the goal is basically to try and really deliver on a story-driven experience where the gameplay and the story and everything just works together at one. Not just in cutscenes, but all the way through the gameplay experience. So we part of that is to do good facial expressions and acting that feels real, characters that feel real. So we got Andy Serkis, who played King Boham in Heavenly Sword and Gollum in Lord of the Rings. And he's playing Monkey, and he co-directed the shoot with me. So we shot over 4 weeks in LA with multiple actors. They all play off each other. We record voice, face, and body at the same time, so they feel real. On the story side, we got Alex Garland, who wrote 28 Days Later, The Beach, Sunshine, and he's also a film producer. And he really wanted to work in games. Like he's been a massive gamer all his life. He plays online on Xbox Live. He's got a great gamer score, and he wanted to see if his skills as a writer and kind of visual storyteller apply in video games. So we said, yeah, come on board, let's try it out. And it's been great. And also Nitin Sawhney, he did the music for Heavenly Sword, and he's come back for Enslaved.
Okay, so it's a dream team, basically, of people. I've been watching the game, you've been showing it to us, and the setting is, I mean, it's fantastic. The buildings covered in grass and moss and so on, and the levels are quite big. Was there a big challenge constructing these levels with the artwork and so on?
Yeah, like I guess the challenge is always like, how do you make your game visually interesting? And we thought, since we're doing post-apocalyptic, let's totally change the expectations of what that means.
Not just grey and brown colors.
Yes, exactly, and like our influences are things like Miyazaki and comic artists like Chichoni, Bilal, people that focus on color and shapes and organic things. And there's a certain arrogance about our belief that when we die, the world dies with us. Actually, the opposite's true. If we died off as a species, nature would totally reclaim our worlds, our cities. And the things that we see as permanent today, our cities and skyscrapers, very quickly disappear. And it's kind of bittersweet. You know, you've got this beautiful world that these characters are journeying through, but everything's destroyed, and they don't remember what civilization. They never grew up in civilization. They don't know what all this stuff's about. That in itself is interesting to hear in their conversations. And the additional threat of mechs that are inactive from long-forgotten wars, like landmines are a problem today. These mechs, they're just left over, and if you trip them, they wake up and they kill. And there's a good contrast, that beauty with that danger.
Can you tell me more about these mechs and how we fight them?
Yeah, so like there's different types of mechs. Like there's standard ones which they wake up, they activate, and you've just got to use your fists and your stick and beat them and rip them apart, and it's quite violent. And then there are some more advanced ones that are more organic in nature. They have synthetic muscles. They've got liquid-based fuel systems instead of batteries, and they look more animalistic, and they're much more advanced. Now, Monkey, to begin with, he can't kill all of these mechs. It's only with his partnership with Trip that she starts to use her resourcefulness, her computer, to hack into robots that Monkey's defeated, work out weaknesses so that next time he can take them on. So it becomes a partnership. It's not you just looking after, little sister. She's useful in a completely different way. She's the brains, you're the brawn.
And that applies not only to fighting, but puzzle solving as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So like Trip, she'll look after herself. So the danger with a game like ours, where you've got a secondary character, is that it turns into an escort mission, which is usually the worst part of other games, So you have to make sure that she's useful. You have to make sure that she won't do anything stupid. If you tell her to, you've got basic commands on her. You can tell her to stay, come with you, but she won't do it if she's going to end up in danger. If you tell her to run in front of machine gun fire, she'll say, "I can't do that. Are you crazy?" She won't put herself in danger. And she'll also do things like she captures she asks you to capture this little CCTV camera, which is on wings, called a Dragonfly. And she reprograms it so it can survey an environment. So typically you come to a new area, she'll scan it, you'll spot where the enemies are, where their activation radiuses are, what kind of enemies, what kind of weaknesses, and then that's when you go, aha, okay, how am I going to deal with this situation?
So there will be some stealth moments as well, and some difference in pacing?
Yeah, I wouldn't call it stealth. It's more, if there's a threat nearby, Monkey actually, he will automatically use cover, he'll crouch, you don't have to press a button. But you can, for example, use platforming, because he's like, if you get the clambering right, he flows like Tarzan across the landscape. So you can drop in behind an enemy that's got a weakness, a takedown. You can beat it up, rip off its gun, and then use that to shoot the other enemies instead of just going in fighting. So a lot of the combat has multiple solutions, and a lot of it is quite tricky. Like, you've got to think, how do I get Trip through this safely?
All right, and with this duo in the lead, the obvious question is, will there be any multiplayer or co-op of any kind?
No, there's no plan for multiplayer from the beginning, or co-op. The beginning of the game, we just wanted to make the best single-player experience we could. It's something that co-op wouldn't work, I think, with Trip the way she is, because she's not an action hero. I think for it to be co-op, she would have to be an action figure. And that's not the point of the story. The point of the journey to the West is that Monkey's the brute, the violent one, the fighter, and Trip is almost his spiritual conscious,
All right, sounds good. I'm looking forward to playing the complete game. When are you releasing?
Well, we're releasing on Xbox 360 and PS3 this autumn. The release date's not quite set yet, but it should be announced soon.
All right, thanks for your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Holy crap! I gotta get out of here!